We flew from New Zealand to buy a van sight unseen, and on our first road trip things started going wrong. Got a bit of a leak. Our wipers stopped working and we get caught up in a tornado warning.
National Weather Service.
After 3 days we're finally leaving, start heading towards Texas. We just hoped the van would make it. Just pulling up for our first fuel stop so we can figure it out. This was our first time fueling up and it was a bit different to what we're used to. Quite funny, the dangling lights blowing in the wind. Different. Set the Garmin and our phones avoiding freeways and tolls, and this is the way it's taking us. Kevin said he prefers it, although he's facing the wrong way. So nice to get off of the freeways. Might take a bit longer, but we're not in a rush. It was exciting finally hitting the road with Roger, but also a little bit scary. He's 31 years old, and we weren't even sure he'd make it to Texas. So we've left Michigan and we've crossed into Indiana. Not much has changed, still quite flat, still keeping off the main roads, which is really nice. We're trying to find Mrs. Siniwa Lake campgrounds. We've only driven 2.5 hours, but it feels like a long day. Just going over the Mrs. Siniwa Dam. So I've just arrived at Lake Mrs. Siniwa. Picked our camping spot here tonight. This is our bed, all made up for night time. So we sleep crossways, heads up that end. Mike's got this little extra leg room there. Oh, he's just going to demonstrate it now. So we've got a bit of a leak. Noticed it last night, it was a bit damp on the floor here. So we put a little pot underneath it to catch any water, but it's quite a big leak. It's filled up our little pot, even though we had the pump off.
I think it's this, which is a filter there, and it screws it off. So I think I just need to put some tape around there, put it back on and seal it up.
We're just leaving. It's a nice overnight stop. We're so exhausted when we got here, we just passed out on the beds. So we didn't even bother lighting a fire. But today, we're heading towards Red River Gorge in Kentucky. We're not sure if we'll make it today. I think it's about a 6-hour drive, but we'll see how far we get. So come along, it'll be fun. So we're just stopping at the hardware store to see if we can get some PTFE tape to fix the leak we've got on our water tank. So Mike's just attempting to make emergency repairs. This thing here is what's leaking.
PTFE tape is going to go around here. So if there's any gaps in the thread, it's going to seal them up. That ring there, it's got a Kincaid, actually made a complete proper seal.
I'm glad Mike appears to know what he's doing. I have no idea. We're just going to leave that little macaroni cheese pot under there for now, and we'll be able to tell if it's still leaking or not. But hopefully Mike's fixed it. Mike can fix anything.
And it's a good job I bought my little toolbox from Walmart. Seemed a bit silly at the time, but paid its way already.
I knew it wasn't silly. I told him to get a toolbox. See, you may think Mike's a smart one, but on the brains behind what you're seeing. So hopefully that's been fixed. It's very hard to tell because there's no water in it now. Mike's looking longingly at all those school buses. He really wanted to do a school bus conversion, but I talked him out of it. But this is much better. Roger's much better, don't you think?
Yes.
He's a better size. He's probably more comfortable. So right now we're just driving along the border. On our left is the state of Ohio, and on our right is the state of Indiana. Kevin's getting his groove on. We're not actually far from Cincinnati, and it looks like our navigation's sending us right in there because we're avoiding highways and freeways. So just coming into Cincinnati, that's the Ohio River out there. On the other side is Kentucky, this side Ohio, back that way Indiana, Cincinnati skyline over there. It's pretty exciting. So we've left Ohio, we're now in Kentucky, and we're trying to find some camping for the night because it's 5 o'clock. And fact, coming through Cincinnati there was hardly any traffic. I'm not sure what that was about, but it was like 4:30 going for a major city. No traffic, unless they're all on the freeways. Quite a big day of driving today, probably almost 6 hours. We don't want to do these sort of long days often. There wasn't really any obvious stops today to stop at. We'd like to spend a few days in Red River Gorge in Kentucky. It's supposed to be really nice there. This is a really nice spot. We found this camp tonight. We just turned off the road and followed our noses really to the state park. Look at this, beautiful. Good morning. This is day 6, staying in the beautiful Kincaid Lake State Park, surrounded by trees. And there's a lake a little bit further down. We're just loving Roger so far. He's great to camp in. There's nobody else around, it's just us. Until you go around the corner, then you get all the big RVs. But because these are smaller spots, nobody's here, just us. So it's a beautiful, quiet night. They had water hookup last night. We can hook up our water directly to our van, and it just comes directly from the tap. So that's a cool feature of Roger. And it's just starting to rain. We're heading on today. We're going to Red River Gorge in Kentucky. So come along, it'll be fun. So our windscreen wipers were working, but now they're not. So we're not sure what's going on there. Might be a loose connection or something. But there's nowhere to stop to try and sort it out.
And it's raining.
We're just going to go to our auto repairs place, see if we can get our wipers fixed. So it's working now. We just came to Perkins Garage, and I don't know where we are. I'll put it down here, but he just fiddled around with it. But there's like a connection underneath. He pulled out, put in, put a bit of brute force to make them work. We thought we'd fixed it. So just in the town of Cynthiana, Kentucky. We actually stopped here, took for coffee, but we can't find any, so we'll just take a look around the town instead. A little bit of history here.
Cynthiana was the site of 2 battles in the Civil War. The rebels tried to disrupt the railroads and also threaten Cincinnati.
Not sure where this rain's come from, but I'm sure glad we got those wipers fixed. Seem to be working okay at the moment. Looks like it stopped raining for a bit, but the wipers are a bit wonky. Just arrived in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky, and now we're just going to go find somewhere to camp.
National Weather Service. Tornado warning in this area until 3 p.m.
Just had an emergency alert come through on the phone. National Weather Service, tornado warning. We were driving straight into a tornado warning, and with no wipers, we couldn't see anything. There was nowhere to stop on the side of the road to even fix the issue, and it was seriously scary. Take shelter now in a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a studio. There was absolutely nowhere to shelter, so we just had to keep driving. Just arrived at the Slade Welcome Centre, which is kind of in the Red River Gorge. We haven't seen any tornadoes yet, but it says the warning's till 3:30. It's just gone 3, so we're going to ask and hear about tornadoes, and as well as that, see if we can get some information on the area. We're not sure what to do with that. It was a bit freaky. Well, we learned about some hikes in the visitor centre. People were pulling off the freeway to shelter from the tornado. The warning was until 3:30 p.m, but then they updated it to 4:15 p.m. While we were there, we had some very heavy rain and even some hail, but thankfully no tornado. So we're just leaving the Slade Visitor Centre where we're sitting out the tornado warning, and we're just going to try and find somewhere to camp for the night. So we're at this campground, basically just around the corner from where we're sheltering from the tornado warning, and here they've got a storm shelter. It's the toilets. So it needs to know where to come if it happens again. We didn't get the wipers fixed, but we did manage to escape the tornado. Next stop, Red River Gorge. So if you'd like to see how that goes, please subscribe to follow along.